And I have 3 pictures to share. Are we gonna do the whole 3-minute song?
No, I cut it down. That's what happens when you get it off the internet. You really can't edit it. But anyway, welcome back to another episode of Frank Presents the Play Call. Bree, June, we online. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Franklin?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. June?
Doing amazing. Amazing.
I think that's awesome. I'm happy that everybody's doing well. I have a question though. Is it me or is this free agency kind of beginning of the season is a lot more hectic than last year?
These are more hectic or
yeah, more to me, more deals are happening frequently. You know what I'm saying?
I think to me it's a little bit less hectic because last year's free agency, everything happened on day one. Like the talks of stuff going on this year was prior to free agency, and the deals would be made on March 15th. So it was like, oh, these are crazy deals. But they like saved everything for March 16th last year and just hit everybody with
That's
everything. Fair. Like there was no pre, oh, he's going here, but it'll be official on March 15th. He's thinking about going here. But as it's going on and on, I think it's also dragging out a little bit because free agency last year lasted 72 hours, and then some moves here and there. But the main topics and the main people that's been going on prior to free agency are still going on to this day.
I also think that as the seasons progress and come and go, the NFL obviously it's already a business, but it becomes more of a monetary situation for a lot of these contracts. So I think with that being said, I think that this free agents that hasn't affected his free agency. I'm not trying to knock on Lamar, but I'm talking about other players as well. So I think maybe that's where the chaos has been coming from.
Yeah, I think it's been consistent. Like Bree said, I think everything happened like on one day last year. Here, like every day you hear something new. And I think I like that more than everything happening in one day. It gives you something to talk about, gives you something to look forward to. I am getting tired of hearing about Lamar Jackson, though, for real, for real. I watch, sometimes I get to watch the highlights of certain talk shows, the takes. And I mean, I feel like on Speak for Yourself, on Speak, on The Herd, on Undisputed, on First Things First, all of them, man. I think that's all they talk about. At least every day for one take, there's something being said about this whole situation with Lamar Jackson and his agent. But anyways, let's go ahead and get it started, man. Let's get talking about these topics. So go ahead, Bree, take it away.
So the first topic we have is Mike Gesicki signs with New England 1 year for $4.5 million, $2.4 million at signing, $3.5 million guaranteed, and $4.5 million in incentives. That's a good pickup. I think that's a good.
I think it's a good pickup. I think it gives him a. I think it's good. I think it's good. Mm-hmm. I think if he fits more of what Belichick likes in the tight end position, and I'm interested to see how it works out, especially now having Bill O'Brien there, an offensive coordinator, actually calling offensive plays and coming up with plays. I want to see what what Mac Jones looks like with him there. Were they in Alabama together? Was Bill O'Brien in Alabama when Mac Jones was there? Or no?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, they were.
Now you got your coach in college who was your offensive coordinator now with you, and they're adding certain pieces. We still got to see what's going to happen with some other people. However, I'm very excited to see how it unfolds.
Jim?
Yeah, I think who left? what was the tight end that you guys lost, Frank?
Huh?
What was the tight end that you guys lost?
Oh, Jonnu Smith.
Right, I thought the Jonnu Smith was a good pickup when when he got picked up. So I don't know what the effect of that new signing is gonna do to that Patriots offense. I mean, he's a good player, it's a good pickup. I just want to see what the Patriots actually do with him versus what they didn't do with Jonnu Smith.
Well, I think the problem with Jonnu wasn't they paid a lot of money for him. Remember that year in the offseason, the Patriots spent, I think, $160 million between Hunter, him, other people. And sometimes Belichick likes to dump people off when he gets a chance. And I think that was his way of getting out from under that contract and freeing up space and moving forward. Smith was a good tight end. He used to run the ball at the back too. He was good with the little screen passes. Not to say that kind of reminded me a little bit when they had Aaron Hernandez there.
Yeah.
But I think he prefers, and I say Belichick in that system prefers the tight ends like the Gronkowskis and the Gesicki's and the Hunter Henrys, the more pass blocking, run blocking tight ends with the chip blocking, go up the middle of the seam or something like that. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it.
I like Jonnu Smith too. I like that Mac Jones was open to having good chemistry with him when he got signed. So our next topic is Darius Slay agrees to a 3-year, $42 million extension with $23 million guaranteed. So they cut him, but then they officially cut him and they extended him. So I know June is happy. This is for you.
So yes, of course I'm happy. I am happy. I'm happy for a lot of reasons. Obviously, Slay's not an injury-prone type of player, right? He's not known to be that. So I think as far as injury goes and contract goes, I think that's a safe route. I mean, he's a proven DB. He reconstructed his contract. He gets guaranteed money at the end of the day. And if he would have tried the market like CJ Garner did, then maybe he wouldn't have gotten that contract that he got. So I think he made a smart decision, and I'm happy that we're able to keep Slay. I think he's proven. You know what I mean? There's no negativity there.
I'm happy for him as well. If y'all didn't sign him back, where do you think he would have fit?
I didn't think that far out, right? Because I didn't want that to happen. And if I had to choose a team that he would have, he could have. I think that Dallas would have probably picked him up, because if it would have been about the money, then I think Dallas would have threw that money out there just to become a little bit more interesting defense.
I would have said San Fran.
You would have said San Fran? I thought about the Saints.
Yeah, the Saints too.
Saints got a good front four that can get pressure back without blitzing. With a few corners and safety, you still got Tyrann Mathieu back there in the safety position. And I think Slay's a good player, man. I'm kind of glad he went back to your team, and I'm gonna tell you why. Unfortunately, your team, like a lot of other teams, when they have the success, like going to the Super Bowl, whether they win or not, a lot of teams start picking their players and taking good players away, offering the money. And it's kind of hard to maintain a dynasty or maintain a winning organization when you're constantly losing people to free agency and stuff like that. So to see a player like him come back and to maintain some of that strong side on your defense, I think it's good, man. I think it's a good look. I agree with you. I think that if he would have played the market, he probably wouldn't have got as much. Like he wanted. So I'd rather stay with the devil. I know the devil I don't know. So good job on Slay.
Yes. Okay, our next topic, we have the Panthers signed Adam Thielen to a 3-year deal. I think that's good. They now have 3 strong offensive weapons to help either Andy Dalton or, my opinion, CJ is going to be who they pick. Because they now have Thielen, they have Hayden Hurst, and they also have Miles Sanders. And we know Miles Sanders can run when he's not, injured. So
Mhm.
hopefully he stays healthy. The Panthers are starting to be a powerhouse because the NFC East is wide open. It's wide open. After Brady retired, it's wide open.
The South.
So, or the South, sorry,
Yes,
NFC South.
I said,
Sorry.
listen,
My bad. NFC South, yes. So that division is wide open. We see a lot of moves being made by them, and we also see moves being made by Atlanta as well. So I'm very excited to see that division in particular when it comes to this offseason or when it comes to the season coming up because of all the moves being made during the offseason.
I agree with you. I think the Panthers are going all in the direction of saying, listen, we have a chance in this division. You know, I'm not saying that we're going to go out and win a Super Bowl. What I'm saying is, let's build to win the division and be competitive enough. You know, that defense was pretty good last year. Now they're getting the right pieces. So, like you said, the division's wide open. They're all wide open. Why not go in, get players, get the pieces that even if you do get a rookie quarterback and you start him under center, at least he's gonna have weapons around him to help him be better. They're gonna make him better until he's good enough to make other people better. So I think that's a good. I think that's good for them. And Thielen is solid, yo. I mean, when
Yes.
he's out there, he's a very good slot. He's a very good receiver. He doesn't make a lot of waves. He doesn't create no problems. Um, you know, he's proven he can do well on his own after Diggs left. So I don't, I think it's a good look for them, man. I think it brings a veteran guy in.
Jim?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Frank. I think the only crutch in the Panthers will be Andy Dalton. I just think he's not it. So that's gonna be the crutch over there. That's gonna be the issue they're gonna have to overcome because they can add all these beautiful players and great things, including their head coach. But obviously, that's just my opinion. I think Andy Dalton might slow them down if they can't get it together. I like Miles Sanders going back to do Staley. And man, Adam Thielen is a beast. I honestly think he's a beast. He was carrying the Vikings when him and Diggs were there, and if it wasn't for Jefferson, he would have still been doing his thing.
And he started all 17 games last year. Had 107 targets with 70 receptions and 716 yards. I mean, he's had 2 seasons back to back with 1,000 yards receiving, and he started both those seasons, 17 and 18. He played all 16 games. He had 91 receptions and 16 and 113. Sorry, I'm lying. 91 in 17 and 113 and 18. And in 17, he had 1276 and 1373 and 18. So he has some good yardage, man. And I mean, in 2020 and 2021, he scored 24 touchdowns combined. So he's a solid wide receiver now. He's not a slouch, you know.
Right. I think he gives me the vibes and energy of a Cooper Kupp and a Jordy Nelson type of receiver where they don't make as many mistakes and they execute well.
I see that. I do.
That's a good comparison.
Okay. This one's for June. So CJ Gardner-Johnson signs a 1-year deal for $8 million with the Detroit Lions.
The more and more I thought at first, initially I was a little upset. We're losing a key factor to our secondary. However, the more and more that I started reading about it, the more and more signings that we kept doing, I felt comfortable he going away. The more and more that we would have dragged the situation, I think it would have put the Eagles in a situation where we couldn't sign another free agent to make up that deficit, if that would have happened. We signed Bradbury, we signed Slay, we signed Gritty. We got Blankenship back there. We still got Maddox, and we got a couple of draft picks. A couple of first-round draft picks that could probably feed that missing piece. If Grady and Maddox just ain't it, and Blankenship ain't it. So it's unfortunate. I wish him well. I think he played great. But again, the more and more that I read about it, I looked at his stats and his games missed. He hasn't played a full season in the last 3 years. He's been in 3 different teams. In the last 2 years, he missed 10 games combined. And in the games that he did miss with us, which was 5 games, we won those 5 games. So again, he'll be missed, but we must move on. And he should have took that contract, the guarantee contract, initially.
Now, how do you feel about him going on Twitter, tweeting about, Hurts? I forgot what he said, but he's the king at tweeting and deleting, because he was saying a lot of stuff after he signed with the Lions, and then he deleted the tweet afterwards. So how do you feel about him talking smart on Twitter, using them fingers,
He put hurt so good, and he put a couple of laughing emojis. He should have just kept it moving. He should have left with that respect that he earned over there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was dumb.
Yeah.
Move on, dude. And I didn't like the other fact that he said that he sees more talent than he. I don't like those.
He said that was cap. He said that was cap. Those words never came out his mouth in that order, and then he deleted the tweet.
I mean, like you said, he's the king of deleting, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Tattoo a delete button on his shoulder or something.
All right. The next topic we have is Patriots players said they prefer Zappy over mac and cheese this past season. That's a good one. I think when Zappy had to go in, he did what he needed to do. And he didn't look bad at all. I think a little bit more experience that he's going to get the job done like it needs to get done. But Frank, how do you feel about that? And why do you think that the players preferred Zappy over Mac Jones this past season?
So, when I heard it, I wasn't surprised. And I'm gonna tell you why I wasn't surprised. First off, McCourty was talking about some of that stuff in one of his interviews he did. And I think what it was Zappy brought a different flavor to the game. I think because he was fighting for that position. He wanted to be the starter or was trying to be the starter. He was taking the chances with the ball that maybe Mac Jones wasn't taking. And sometimes we confuse that for a person trying to win and not really seeing it as a person just trying to win a spot. So I think some players probably prefer Zappy's style of play while others prefer Mac Jones. I also feel like this is Belichick's fault for not having an offensive coordinator, for thinking that he could just put anybody in there, and for thinking
it's going to work.
Yeah, and that you're going to swap people around in the middle of a game because one person's not playing well. He just came back. So, I feel like players sometimes, like I said, we get taken by the fancy shiny thing and not realize that it might not be the best thing. Mac Jones had a great rookie year, and then he comes in his second year without an OC, and he does.
He got hurt.
Yeah, he regressed, and in part is because let's be honest, these players all they want to talk. The best part of that team was the defense and the run game. Let's just be honest. It wasn't the receivers aren't the greatest. They don't really have a true wide receiver one that you can say, guy's the guy, right? Their tight ends, they haven't really hit like that. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing you really have is the run game. And your offensive line hasn't been the same since Scarnecchia retired. Who, by the way, when he retired the first time, your offensive line struggled. And then he came back and your offensive line went back to being what it was. So, these players saying what they're saying, yes, I believe that some player wanted Zappy out there. And that's because I think Zappy brings a certain flavor that those players like. I'll give you an example. You and I like pocket quarterbacks. If we see a pocket quarterback sitting in there, scrambling in the pocket and throw the ball, we're going to like that. But then when we see the quarterbacks that their first instinct is, I'm going to run.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we don't like
We're
that.
like, what the fuck is that? Yeah.
Exactly. So I think that's the same thing for these players. There's certain things they wanted to see in the quarterback. And they never said which players was it. They never said was it.
No, they didn't. They just said
Never said it was
players.
defense. They just said players. So what if Zappy, now let's say I'm the wide receiver saying this, but I like Zappy because I do the second team reps with Zappy and Zappy gets me the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Mac Jones
Mhm.
does it. So I find it interesting. This is what I am gonna say. I feel like the Patriots are becoming a team that Patriots fans used to kind of laugh at and talk trash about, right? And I
Ooh,
feel like the Chiefs are becoming the team like the
it's the
Patriots
Patriots
we
that
used to love, right? And
Mhm.
that's why I say that. And I didn't like when the Herd did this because I felt like he was taking a stab at Juju. But I understand what he was saying. He was saying you can get the same production out of Jacoby Myers that you're gonna get out of Juju. And the thing is that Jacoby Myers is not into TikTok and all this other stuff, right? Um, and if he was that good, why did the Chiefs let him go? But what got me to think about what he said was that he said the Patriots now are like these other teams chasing certain things when they weren't that before. And I think that we've lost our identity to a certain extent. I feel that we've lost what made us great, but I think it's because you don't have Tom Brady under center. You don't have a great quarterback under center to make that happen. So now you're floundering, you're trying to find your way, and you look over at Kansas City. Hey, good coach, great quarterback, decent weapons, and they're getting it done. Who does that look like? New England. Great coach, great quarterback, decent weapons. They were getting it done. So, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I agree with you, Frank. I mean, that's your squad, you know what I mean? And outside looking in, um, man, you said something a second ago, finding their identity, right? I think they, I think they dug themselves a deeper hole, trying to find identity last year, especially with the whole OC situation.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know. I just expected more. I guess we've been so spoiled with that Belichick strategy, that in my mind, me looking at him like a coaching genius, and for that to go down, it kind of made me question, like, damn, what type of strategy is he working on in the upcoming year? And then you got players saying what they're saying about Zappy and Max. So I don't know. I'm just curious to see how it's going to unfold this year.
Yeah, I'm curious. I know this is not the question, Bree, but it's hard in the East, man, when you have the Jets trying to build, man. But the Jets got the weapons. Even if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come there, they
They
still
have
have
the
the weapons to bring in a quarterback and be solid, right? Um, the Bills, the Bills are looking great. If they can pull off a trade with Hopkins or Judy or something like that, and now Diggs has a consistent good. You Gavin,
I have breaking news, by the way.
okay, basically what I'm trying to say is that division is tough. It's tough, and right now the Patriots are the fourth best team in that division.
Yeah.
It,
From
it
what's going on.
yeah, correct. What's going on, and I don't see it getting any better. And to be honest, with a healthy Tua, Miami kind of is the number one team, and then is Buffalo. So, you know,
So breaking news. The Las Vegas Aces and Raiders owner Mark Davis announced today that seven-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady has acquired an ownership interest in the world champion WNBA Las Vegas Aces franchise. He's going to be a part owner
mm-hmm. He's
of
been
the
trying to do ownership though. Brady's been trying to do ownership.
That's good.
I think that's great. I think that's dope, man. Expand your portfolio, brother. Get that money.
Yeah, pretty dope.
That's good. That's really good. Okay. So our next topic we have is Former teammates are talking about Gerard Mayo becoming the next Patriot head coach once Bill Belichick steps down.
I think that's big.
That's huge.
That's
That's
big.
good.
Yeah, and
That's
Gerard,
like his right hand man.
yeah, he was one of our best defensive linebackers when he was there. And he's homegrown. He's been in the organization. So I think that's dope. I think that's awesome. And not to mention, you rarely don't see Belichick or any news coming out the Patriots saying that. A lot of people thought it was going to be Josh McDaniel before. Remember? They were saying when he didn't take the other job with the Colts, they were like, oh, maybe he'll just sit there and wait until Belichick retires and takes it. So I think that's dope. I think that's great. I mean, that's great news, and it opens diversity in the head coaching position.
I agree with you. I do. I hope we see it happens. I think that would be a good look. He knows the system. He's been on a team. So I think that would be good. I think that would really, really be good. Also, he's right behind Bill Belichick, right hand man, kind of basically. So I want to see that happen, and I think he'll be successful at it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he was a good player. So far as coaching, I haven't seen him. I haven't heard nothing negative about him. So I guess no news is good news. You know what I'm saying? When you don't hear nothing negative from somebody. So, I mean, shout out to him.
Okay, our next topic, we have Cam Newton threw at Auburn's pro day in front of NFL teams for wanting to get back in. Now, I watched a lot of those clips, and he did not look good.
Cam is, oh man.
He didn't. And then he said that he's better than 32 motherfuckers in the league right now.
He's not better than 32 motherfuckers in the league right now. He's probably better than maybe 5 or 6. And we're stretching it now, you know. You can have arm strength. That's dope. But do you have accuracy? Are you accurate when you throw the ball? I don't care what you could do when there's nobody rushing you. You're running drills at Auburn with nobody coming after you. But
they were doing like split screens, you know, and he's sitting there trying to show off, trying to spin backwards, shuffle his feet. Wide receivers only running 10, 15 yards out, turning around looking for the ball, and you throwing it 75, 80 yards deep.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw one pass where the receiver ran the route, he overthrew him.
He overthrew it to the crowd in the stand. Yeah. I saw that one too.
So, I mean, Cam, give it up, bro. Maybe you were injured. Maybe you need to take time off to heal. The problem isn't your arm strength. It's the fact that are you over your hump, man? I mean, you haven't been the same since the loss in the Super Bowl, and you know your style of football at your age isn't going to get you nowhere. And again, just because you can spin, what is it? He rolls right, spins back out to go left, then throws it across the field, and you were throwing to your brother. You were throwing to your brother, who I'm pretty sure you've been throwing the ball to since he can remember. You have chemistry. Again, there was nobody with pads on coming after you. That you didn't have pads on. You're not getting sacked. You're not getting rushed. You're not getting touched. I'm pretty sure that if Brett Favre was out there and he can just roll around, throw the ball whenever without getting pressure or getting hit, he can do the same thing. So, Cam, sit down, bro. Nobody's going to sign him. And if somebody does, it's publicity.
Yeah. You know, because I was reading about it, and I think he had said there ain't 32 motherfuckers in the league better than me, right? I agree that there isn't 32 better than him, but I think maybe there's 31, maybe even 30, right?
You gonna say Dak
There was
Prescott?
a meme that there's like, I know at least one he's better than, and they had a picture of Dak Prescott.
See?
So yeah, I don't know, man. I did think about yeah, because he took a year off pretty much, right? After that debacle. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I did think about him during the whole quarterback thing with San Francisco. I did think about him, I'm not gonna lie. But then I was just like, I don't know, maybe it's just time for him to hang it up.
The problem with Cam, and I think you guys can agree, is not the fact of his talent. Does his character and persona that he brings outweigh the talent that he still has? So when you bring Cam onto a team, you're not just bringing on a player, you're bringing a person with a lot of identity, a lot of identity. He has an identity, and his identity brings distractions. Now that's okay if your talent matches your identity. If you're Patrick Mahomes, let's say right now, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, hell, those are the top 5, right? Quarterbacks in the league, you can say. Those guys, their personality, that's what I was looking for. Their personality matches their play. But Cam doesn't. So if I'm an owner, because there's teams that need a quarterback. Let's just be honest. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? There's teams that need a quarterback. Atlanta doesn't have a quarterback. The Panthers got Andy Dalton, but I mean, really, you can do a coin flip between him and oh boy.
I don't think the Panthers are going to try to pursue him again for the 3rd time.
No, I don't think so either. I'm just saying teams that need a quarterback. Who else?
Even Houston.
Yeah, Houston needs a quarterback. And Houston's building up big time. Like, I mean, Jesus.
That's what I put in the chat. They literally build a whole NFL team and still got the 2nd most money.
So you go to that, and that's something. That's we're gonna get to that in a minute. The fact that Cam, there's teams that need him, but is it worth bringing him in with his identity being so high, his personality, his persona, everything he brings, the freaking hats, the outfits, the attitude, his dad making comments whenever he wants. If I'm an owner, do I want to bring that into my team and into the locker room? I don't know. Especially if you can't win games no more. If you can't win games, then I don't want it. Now, if you go out there and at least go 11 of 6 or 12 and 5, and we win the division and we in the playoffs, and you can manage a game to get me to the next level, shit, yeah, come on. But you can't. So he'd be all right.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Bills, the Patriots, the Ravens, the Raiders, and the Falcons are all interested in DeAndre Hopkins. The plus I see with that list is the Chiefs are not in there.
Yeah.
Because they were making a big push for him at first.
You said the Bills, the Raiders, the Ravens.
The Bills, the Patriots, the Ravens, Raiders, and Falcons.
So, I think
all AFC but Atlanta.
Yeah. I think that so here's what I think about Hopkins. If he can stay healthy, any team he goes to is going to be a winning team or a plus. He's going to help. But at his age, as he's getting older, he's been on 2 teams now. And he's always been a beast. So it wasn't like he fell off in Texas and they got rid of him and then he got to Arizona and revived his career. He's always been a beast. Do you chase the ring or do you chase the money? That's where it comes up. Do I chase the ring or chase the money? As a Patriot, would I love to see him on my team? Yes, I would. But is he going to win a ring? So as a fan, I'd rather him go to a team where his addition can propel that team to the next hump, to the next level. You know what I'm saying? We said with Bills, what was the Bills missing, right? We've asked that question. Was the defense? I say it's a run game. They went out, they got Harris. They make their moves. We say it's Josh Allen's erratic throwing at times, making bad decisions. Not saying that he's not a good quarterback. It's just that when you make those bad decisions, you look like Dak Prescott. So you have to so is it him? Does he go to the Raiders and take a chance with Devontae Adams and him with a Jimmy G? If Jimmy G stays healthy, but they're in that West Conference against the Chiefs and the Chargers, you know what I'm saying? So where do you go? I mean, are you chasing the money or the ring? Me, I say go to Buffalo, man. Go to Buffalo, and you go to Buffalo now. You got, I mean, you got a problem because between him
And
and
if he goes to Buffalo, would you move Buffalo above Miami? Because you said it was Miami, then the Bills.
No.
I don't know because I got to see the chemistry. I saw what Waddle and Hill did. I saw what they did. Now they're two different. So you have speed on one. You're gonna have height and agility in the other, and you're gonna have great route running and good hands because they both
And someone who can catch a Hail Mary
they have
with
hands.
6 people on him.
Yeah, exactly. So nah, I probably wouldn't. Until I see it. Plus, I don't know what their defense is looking like. I know with Jalen going, as much as I don't like Jalen made that defense a little better because he's not the main guy no more. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have help. And then I know what they got on the other side, man. I mean, even though they lost Gesicki, but still, bro, they tight ends you can find them in the draft.
And then dime a dozen.
Yeah, they're a dime a dozen, and only a few of them pop. You know, if they were that nice, you would have more nice ones. Out of 30 teams, you could probably name 3 top tight ends.
You know who else is a really, really good tight end that's improving and improving?
Boom.
Freiermuth from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, he's gotten better.
He's gotten a lot better.
He's gotten better, but that's your type of that you like those tight ends. You like big tight ends.
But yeah, but he reminds me of Heath. He reminds me of Jesse James. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That fits your
my organization.
Yeah, your organization. It fits the culture. When you think of Pittsburgh, you're not thinking about Darren Wall as a tight end. You're thinking as a big body tight end. You know, run first, so you want a blocking tight end. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think Hopkins to the Patriots will be a little bit, to me, it'll make a lot more sense. And every time I would think about it, it convinces me a little bit more. I'm not gonna say that he is exactly like this player that I'm about to name.
Trying so hard not to smile.
Come on, Bree. Right? So I'm not gonna say he is exactly how what this player is. However, it will give me that Randy Moss season vibes where he's just a he's a easily top 5 what do you call it, a top 5 receiver with hands, you know. I mean, sure, I think he got the biggest hands in the NFL. I think they said that like every time he plays, oh, there he is, biggest hands in the NFL. I think that's the number 1 stat for some crazy reason. But yeah, I think it gives me that type of energy. I think it'll be a huge addition to the Pats.
Bro, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons with over 1,000 yards. The only 2 seasons,
easy day.
Yeah, the only 2 seasons he has under 1,000 is his first season, and then in 2016, and then in 2021 he only played 10 games. Started 10, played 10, and started 9, played 9 in 2022, and he still has 717 yards last year.
And he missed 6 games.
And his best touchdown wise, he's never really been a touchdown machine like that, except in 15 he had 11, 17 he had 13, and 18 he had 11. Those were his like 3 double-digit years. But I mean, the dude's nice, man. He's nice. He's averaging above a 62% catch percentage.
Yeah.
And he's nice, man. I mean, yeah. The years that he got over 1,000 yards, except for one, he had over 100 receptions. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see because I thought he had a perfect season one year, but I don't see it here. It must have been Michael Thomas.
MT.
Yeah, it's not him, but yeah. I mean, June, I like that. I do as a Patriots fan. Of course, I'm like, yeah, bring him on. I don't know, man. I think when it comes to players and the age, I don't want them wasting their time if we can't get to the ring. If we still had that winning organization when we was in the Super Bowl every other year, then yeah, bro, come on. But I'd rather you go somewhere you get that ring, man. So you can cement that. I think the ring matters in certain conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. Ezekiel Elliott is interested in playing with 3 teams: the Eagles, the Jets, and the Bengals. Why'd you drop your head when I said that?
I
You
don't
don't want
know.
him.
Like, I don't want him.
He doesn't
I don't
fit.
even know. Yeah, he doesn't fit, man. And I'm trying to think,
But I don't see him
I mean,
fitting in Cincinnati either.
So what the teams are again? You said
The Eagles, the Jets, and the Bengals.
I don't think he fits the Eagles because he's not going to be the primary back, and I don't think when you got Jalen's your inches, your 1 yard back. You know what I'm saying? He can get. So I take Eagles out. You can go Cincinnati because Mixon, right? So he's not the primary back. He can be your third and fourth down back, your goal back. So that's what I'm thinking. And then you said the Jets. I think Jets fits also because he's not the primary back. I think Zeke has to understand something. And not to say that he's this guy. He's not Jerome Bettis. He's not. But there was a certain part in Jerome Bettis' career where he couldn't do the distance anymore. He was the 20 from 20 to 20. They used another back, and the goal in the red zone, it was Jerome Bettis the whole time. And he might have not get you big yardage, but he'll get the yardage that matters. Them first downs, them touchdowns. I think Zeke needs to go back. I think he should transition to that kind of back. I'm not going to be the back that I used to be to get you a 60-yard run. It's not happening. But what I can do is I can hit this line real hard and get a couple of inches. You know what I'm saying? And I think he also needs a good offensive line. Let's be honest. I think that if he had an offensive line, so now when you start talking offensive line, Eagles have a good offensive line.
True.
The Bengals upgraded their line. The Jets are upgrading completely, so I don't know how their line looked last year, but if I'm him, I'm going to a team where I'm not required to do much except get the first downs, them touchdowns, and get a good offensive line. That's just me. That's what I would do if I was Zeke. You already made the money. So now it's just trying to go where you could fit. And look at Shady McCoy. 2 teams, 2 rings, and he barely did anything.
Yeah, you're right. That's what he needs to do. Just get that ring. I mean, I think honestly, he's like, all right, I'm going to retire, but I need that ring. Let me name the top 3 teams I think is going to get a Super Bowl next year.
So look, this guy talks so much stuff on speak, right? And the only accolade he really had before winning 2 Super Bowls was that he's the all-time leading rusher for the Eagles. In 2019, he was at Kansas City. He had 101 rushing yards. No, 465 rushing yards on 101 rushes. 4 touchdowns. His longest, I think, was 39 yards. On the Bucks, which was the following year, he rushed for 10 attempts and started no games and had only 31 yards.
And got a Super Bowl ring.
And got 2 Super Bowls back to back.
We could have probably did something like that, to be honest with you.
Philly, he had his best year in 2013. He had 1,607 rushing yards. He was averaging 100.4 yards per game. When he was in Buffalo, he kind of declined. He asked him the seasons, but now look at Zeke. Because everybody talk trash, right? Everybody wants to be like, oh, he's garbage. He's done. He's been in the league since 16. In 16, he had 1,631 yards. But he rushed the ball 322 times, too. That's a lot. That's a lot. In 2018, he rushed for 304 attempts for 1,434 yards. That's crazy. That's a lot, yo. And in 3, man, he has over 1,800 rushes. That's a lot of, that's wear and tear on your body, bro. That is wear and tear. And look, even on his worst season, he only averaged, last year was his worst season. He had 876 yards and 12 touchdowns. I think
numbers don't lie.
No, I think he goes to a team where he's not the workhorse. I mean, I didn't know this. I didn't know he had over 1,800 rushes. And you put that in perspective, he's been playing since 16, so he's got, 6 years in the league? Pretty much, or 7? 7 years. Because you count the year So
Oh yeah.
7. So 7 years in the league, and you got over 1,800 rushes. That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm looking at something now because now I'm curious. All right, so Adrian Peterson, who played since 2007, has 3,230 rushes. Bro, that's 1,400 less, more than what Zeke got. Zeke only got 7 years in the league. Who's another one? My man, Marshawn. Yep. Where's Lynch? Yep, right here. He had 2,453 rushes. He played since 2007. Give me another running back that's been good. So we got LaShawn, we got Adrian Peterson,
Jerome Bettis.
Okay.
What about LaDainian Thompson?
Yeah, the Danian Tomlinson.
So okay, Jerome Bettis, yo, that plays since 93, 12 years, 13 years in the league, has 3,479 rushes. And Zeke has 1,880
And 7.
in 7 years. Bro, there's no wonder the guy's not the same no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. And you know what? I'm not a running back. I don't play the sport, but I empathize. That's a lot of wear and tear.
I'm a running back. I played running back when I played powder puff football, so I feel his pain.
Let me see. Because you said, look, LaDainian Tomlinson, who played since 2001, he played 11 years. He had 3,174 rushes. That's a lot, man. Who was your boy down in the Eagles? One of your running backs?
Deuce Staley. Westbrook.
Yeah, Westbrook. What was his first name? Brian
Westbrook, yeah.
Okay, he had 1,385. And he played 8 years, 9 years. So that's not bad either. I'm just saying, man, to me, that's a lot, man. That's a lot of wear and tear on your body, So I think for him, man, just look, Frank Gore.
Oh, what about God damn, what's his name?
Over 3,700 attempts rushing.
What's his name? Hold on. He played for Detroit. Barry Sanders.
Oh, he probably had 3,062. And he
Sheesh.
played from 89 to 98, so roughly 9 or 10 years. He had 3,000. Yeah, he was another one. 280 per. He was averaging.
My foot fell asleep, y'all. So if I'm like making a face, my leg is like feels like.
But yeah, man, that's crazy. So I think Zeke going to like one of those teams would be fine. Hell, even going to Buffalo. In the cold, nobody wants to tackle, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to tackle. Nobody wants to take that hit.
Okay. So we have one more topic and then 3 slides, and that's it.
Oh.
Okay. So we are on Lamar Jackson, chapter 87,852,218. No, it's because something big came up today, right? 10 minutes before we were about to record. So Adam Schefter, along with other NFL analysts, all tweeted. NFL sent a memo to all clubs letting them know that the NFLPA informed the league that a person by the name of Ken Francis, who was not an NFLPA certified agent, may be contacting teams and attempting to persuade team personnel to enter into negotiation with Lamar Jackson. NFL memo said terms are prohibited from negotiating offer sheets or potential trades with individuals not certified by NFLPA. Any team that does this can be fined $54,409, which is the fine amount for 2023. Lamar Jackson then came out and tweeted Adam Schefter and said, "Stop lying. That man never tried to negotiate for me." Laughing faces. And then the actual NFL memo also came out and says, here's the full memo from the NFL Management Council warning teams not to negotiate with a man named Ken Francis about Lamar Jackson. Violation of this rule may result in disapproval of any offer sheet or resulting player contract enter into Mr. Jackson and the new club. So they actually sent it out. Lamar Jackson then tweeted afterwards a video and said, my business partner Ken and I will be dropping at the entire gym this summer. Stay tuned. So I think he's saying like he has a business partner named Ken. I think he's trying to say that's his business partner, not the person negotiating for him. But if you remember, Shannon Sharp said on Undisputed that they're being aware that he's having somebody who's not approved by the NFLPA negotiating for him, and that's illegal. Mm-hmm. Ben Roethlisberger also said on Footballing with Ben, I think I posted it in our chat, he thinks Lamar is moving not smart, like he's not moving smart. He's not being smart about how he's moving, and he's going about it the wrong way.
He is. Sometimes we can say teams can lie, right? When you hear one thing, you can say, that's just them painting a narrative because he's not talking, so they're going to say what they want to say to make themselves look good. This is just too many times that you're hearing things come out of teams' mouth. And where's it coming from? If it's not true,
you have a whole memo from the National Football League Players Association.
Why would they be doing
that's threatening teams? If this man talks to you, he's not approved by us to negotiate anything. That means he's trying to do it.
Correct. So if he's not your people's, then you need to sue him or do something. If he is your people, you need to pull him to the side and tell him to be quiet and sit down. Deshaun, I'm sorry, bro. Man, I really, I wish if you do listen to this, if you get a chance, if we strike somebody's ear and it comes to your attention at 59 minutes and 0 and counting, bro, get an agent, man. Get an agent and talk to teams. You're hurting yourself, brother. You're hurting yourself, and honestly, I think they can't even repair that relationship. In my opinion, there's so much that's happened between both sides that to go back to it be like real hypocrisy at its best, right? It'll be like the guy that got cheated on by his girl, and he's like, "Oh, I can't stand her. She blah blah blah," and then she's like, "Oh, he ain't nothing, blah blah blah," and then after friends break up, people take their sides and everybody's shooting darts, and then next thing you know, it's like, "Oh, well, I'm just gonna come back because I can't find nobody like you." I think the damage is done, bro. Get an agent. Get an agent. He is hurting himself. He is.
Mm-hmm.
He is.
Okay, June, you have anything to add?
No, you guys know how I feel. I am sick and tired of listening or talking about Lamar. I think Lamar grabbed a shovel at first and started digging himself a little hole, and then he got a remember them Tonka trucks from back in the day.
He got a bulldozer.
yeah, that's exactly what he's doing right now. He threw away that shovel and got one of those things. Just do something, bro, so we can move on. I mean, it's crazy that what's his name? God, Aaron Rodgers could go into a dark hole, come back and make a decision, and my dude, you're still with the same stuff.
Yeah. And that decision, Jesus. I mean, it's OD, man. I mean, it's getting tiring. I'd rather be talking about what team he's going to and how that's going to change the game than be sitting here worried about where you're going. Now, they said the Patriots should make a play, and I don't think they should. I mean, I think they should, but I don't think they should. And I'm going to tell you why. I think Mac Jones is okay. I think he's what you want. And I think going after Lamar, and then if you can't offload Mac Jones, what did you do? And if Lamar can't stay healthy, would you expect him to come back in like Jimmy G did for San Francisco? No, Jimmy G's different. He's different. Did y'all hear about the brothel?
Mother what?
Jimmy G?
I heard, well, I saw that when he arrived in Las Vegas, there was all the like female like go-go dancers and strippers and stuff with signs that said prostitutes for Jimmy G, strippers for Jimmy G. Like,
So there were two females from a certain brothel, and it was in the article that said that they would give him free services while he's in Vegas.
like they were all lined. It was like 60 of them women out there with signs, prostitutes for Jimmy G, strippers for Jimmy G,
I'm gonna find it.
all
Wait.
the women.
Hold on.
My guy, man, Jimmy G, man. Hey,
He's a hit. Whilst Frank is looking for it, we're gonna do some I'm gonna show some funny tweets of the week. Did you find it?
Yeah, I found the thing. It says Jimmy Garoppolo offered free sex for life by Las Vegas brothel after joining Raiders. Let me see if they have the name. This was on the New York Post. So, yeah. So the famous Vegas area brothel Chicken Ranch told TMZ, I almost fainted when I heard Jimmy sign with the Raiders. Caitlin Bell, one of the workers at the Chicken Ranch, said. And she looks like a hot mess. And then another one, her name is Alice Little. She said he deserves free sex just for joining our team, but he gets life from us just because he's such a legit babe. Hey,
my guy, man.
Jimmy G.
Okay.
I'm not even mad at him.
So backstory, this is kind of funny. So someone, a Juju Smith-Schuster fan, tweeted to Matthew Judon, and said, how much would it be for Juju to rock number 9? Because you know Judon wears number 9.
Yeah.
So Judon made a joking tweet and said 100K. So Pro Football Talk posted this tweet, and they said, and I'm adding it. So they posted this tweet, and it says, Juju Smith-Schuster says he won't pay 100K. It would cost to wear number 9 jersey, which is currently worn by Matthew Judon in New England. So then Matthew Judon went on with the joke because he was joking, and Juju never said that he wouldn't pay, like, you know.
Yeah.
So he said he can have it for the price of a Lambo. I got the 100K. Now, what's funny is Tyreek Hill then tweeted Judon and said, crazy part is y'all both still ugly.
Fucking
So yes, another funny tweet I have is Odell said, I'm just so confused. Where the quote is from me that said I want 20. All I'm saying is 4 ain't enough. And Judon tweets him and says, hit my line. GM Judon will get you right, big spender. And it came after Judon was tweeting everyone who was getting released and was like, hey, bro, hit my line. Hey, come to the Patriots. So the Twitter fans started calling him GM Judon. So now he sticks with that name. And I think it's just the funniest thing that he interacts with the fans to get the nickname that they gave him.
No, I think it's dope, man. I think it's dope. I like when players do that. Sometimes the best recruiting tool is the players. You know what I'm saying? These guys talk. Let's be honest. You know, on the field, they want to rip each other's heads off. Only a few of them actually mean it. The rest of these guys, handshaking, talking to each other, probably texting, like Tyreek Hill right in that. You know, I like to see it, and I like to see their interaction because you didn't have this years ago. You know, you had to make phone calls back then and stuff like that. So now I think it's dope, man. And he's funny. He's on Twitter. I like it. I like seeing tweets like that. You know,
it's funny. Yeah, you know, it's funny. And then Juju sent laughing faces back because of the fact that he never said anything, you know, like they were like, oh, Juju said he won't pay 100K. It was like, so he's like, oh, I'm gonna go with the joke. Like, I'd like.
Let me ask you guys a question. I know that was the last thing, right? We have one more or no?
I had one game.
Okay, real quick. The question is, how much is Odell really worth?
Maybe 9.
4.1? I mean, you say 4 in it, but what are you really? You haven't played a full season since when? I'll look it up. Hold on, I'm right here. I got.
When he was with New York?
So think about that. All right,
Because he got hurt in Cleveland.
Odell Beckham hasn't played a full season since 2016.
When he was in New York.
Yep, it was. He played six. He started 16, played 16 games. 16 started 16. In 2014, his first year, he only started 11 games out of 12. In 15, he started 15 for 15. In 16, 16 for 16. 17, 2 of 4. 18, he started 12, played 12. He must have got traded or something because that's not a full season. He must have been hurt and they took him. He hasn't played a full season since 2015.
No. Okay. Game time.
4 might be it, bro.
All right. Build the perfect lineup. Okay. So you have $15 to build your perfect lineup. These are your contestants. So you have your quarterbacks, your running backs, your tight ends, and then your 2 wide receivers. You can only pick one person from each column, row, yeah, from each line.
That makes sense because you only got $15.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a good one.
So I know mine off the rip.
All right, who you going with?
All right. So y'all can, pull out your calculators or write it down just to make sure I stay at under 15, right? So I have Justin Herbert, so that's $2. Then I'm going with Nick Chubb, that's another $2, so that equals 4. Then my tight end, I'm going with Kittle, so that's another 4, so that equals 8. And then my wide receivers that I'm going with Hopkins, so it's 3, so that's $11. And then I'm going Jamar Chase, which equals 15.
That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's my squad. So Justin Herbert, Nick Chubb, George Kittle, DeAndre Hopkins, and Jamar Chase.
Hold on, I'm gonna write this down. So hold on. So you get 15, right? So
$15.
Tight ends. Oh yeah, okay.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me do my math though. So 12. You said 15, right?
15.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So who you got?
I got Joe Burrow, Chubb,
Okay.
Waller, Hill.
Okay, hold on. You're okay. Chubb.
So I got Joe Burrow, Chubb, Waller, Hill, and
Okay.
Debo.
And Debo.
Mhm.
So that's 6, 7, 12, 15. Okay. That's a good team too. All right, June, your turn.
Burrow,
Okay.
Eckler,
Okay.
Waller. Where am I at now?
Okay.
It's what, 7?
That's you said Burrow,
Oh, my bad. I
Waller,
was thinking of
and
Mahomes.
Eckler.
Yeah. Yep. So I'm at
So
6.
that's 6.
Yep. Diggs and Jefferson.
That's good too. 10, 15.
Yeah. Yeah. But you can really do. You can go. With the fact that you have Adams, they have Adams as a $1. That's crazy because you can go Adams.
Yeah, that's true. Damn, I didn't even think about
You
that.
can really do
But you don't even have to hit the whole 15. You could do under 15 too.
Exactly.
I don't think they're saying these players, are worth the less amount, but they just had to put people there.
I get it because I'm looking at this now, and as far as tight ends go, off the bottom row, really, that's a solid.
Yeah.
That's a solid, yeah.
lineup. And you say you can't pick more than what in one lineup? 3?
No, one.
You can't pick more than how many players in one line?
No. It was just like the quarterbacks. You can only pick one quarterback, one running back, one. You can
Oh,
only pick one in each. Yeah, no, you can only pick one in each
go Mahomes.
line, like going up and down.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can go Mahomes, Chubb, or even Henry. So you go Mahomes, McCaffrey. That's 10.
Mm-hmm. And then Waller, Lamb, Adams.
Yup. And you still under the price.
Mm-hmm.
Under the price. That's crazy. Yeah, you can. Shit, you
Or
can.
you can go Mahomes. Look, you can go Mahomes, right? You can go Mahomes, Chubb, Kelsey. That's what you said, right?
For me?
Or you can also even go Mahomes, Eckler, Kelsey, Diggs, and Adams. Or D-Hop and Adams.
You could do Mahomes, Henry,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's 9. Andrews is 12.
And then CeeDee Lamb and Adams. Or you
Yep.
can even do
AJ.
Kittle,
Yep.
CeeDee Lamb and Adams.
Mm-hmm. This is not a bad. This isn't hard. It's just trying to pick who you. I think the hardest pick is who you want as your quarterback. To be honest, that's the hardest pick because running backs, they're all unique. I think Chubb is up there.
Mm-hmm.
And tight ends is what you want. If I'm gonna go Henry,
Mm-hmm.
probably going Kettle, Andrews, who are more blocking tight ends than the rest of them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And with the army that Mahomes and Burrow got, and Allen, well, they all got really. Anybody?
I think any lineup, like you said, any of these lineups would be solid.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That shit would be
for
crazy.
$5. The whole bottom row, you could do something with it.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
That bottom row with a good defense.
But I think if you go by rows too, like Justin Herbert, Nick Chubb, Evan Ingram, AJ Brown, and Mike Evans,
solid.
That's solid.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen, Saquon, Mark Andrews, D-Hop, and Debo, solid. Joe Burrow, Henry, Kittle, Diggs, and Chase, solid. Mahomes, McCaffrey, Kelsey, Hill, Jefferson, solid.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
Yep. So that's the end of our episode today.
I will look another week down. More news, good topics. I appreciate it, Bree. And I hope the news keeps coming in, more good stuff. And so next week when we see each other, hopefully next week we're all together again. But that's what I got, June.
Sure, I got something else. Just kidding. Man, let's see if we could start throwing some dirt into that whole Lamar Doug, and we'll see if Elliott can find a team that could fit him somewhere as a number 2 back, and he accepts that, which I think he will. And we'll see where D-Hop lands. I mean, it would be kind of scary for them to go to OBJ and Odell in Kansas City. I hate to say that, but good Lord. But hey, great episode. Good to see you guys. Missing Nucky, that she's missing in flights.
Wow. Bree, go ahead.
Always a pleasure doing this with you guys this week. Hope that we do have more, better, exciting. Well, these are great, exciting, but I hope we have more and more exciting news next week as well. Thanks for listening to Frank Presents the Play Call. Please subscribe to us on social media and also listen to our podcast. We are on almost all platforms. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.